Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our podcast. Here is Clark and myself, Jeff. Kuya Jun is actually on vacation right now. We are jealous.
Boo.
But in this episode, we're going to talk about the BrRrRR method. So, for those investors out there, listen up. Clark, BrRrRR method stands for buy, repair, renovate, rent out, refinance, and repeat. Do you have any experience about this?
Yes, done a few times.
Okay.
This is the secret as to why there's a lot of investors out there who has 80 doors, 90 doors, hundreds of rental properties.
Yeah.
They're doing this on the last hours repeat. They're doing this over and over and over. So for all investors, one thing you have to be concerned about is your numbers.
Okay.
Are you doing this in a way that's profitable for you? So you have to come up with your own numbers as to when you're looking at this property, is this a good buy? How do
Right.
you know that? Check your numbers on it.
Mhm.
Check the upside potential, check the purchase price, check the ARV,
Mhm.
and then decide whether this is a good investment venture for you. So
Right.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay.
So say I got a property that's worth $300,000,
Mhm.
right? I looked at the property. I see the potential. It's a great location, right?
Mhm.
And let's say I have $100,000 in the bank to spare, right, to buy this property. I go ahead and offer on this property. 20% down is an investment property. 20% down, so that's $60,000 plus closing costs $10,000. And I buy it, and I'm left with, let's say, $30,000, right?
Right. Mhm.
Now, what I'll do, I'm gonna go ahead and do my renovations, change the flooring, change the painting,
Yeah.
do my cosmetic things. And before I buy it, I'll make sure that I have no structural issues.
Right.
I have no expensive repairs on this property. I'm going to check the AC, water heater, check the roof, check
Mhm.
for signs of leaks, and see. Let's say it's a great deal.
Mhm.
In the perfect world, it's a great deal. It's just cosmetic. I spent $30,000 in doing
Mhm.
the repairs. Now the property is worth $500,000
Wow.
after that, right? Because you
Okay.
got it at a great deal. Now it's worth
Mhm.
$500,000, right? Now what I'll do now is that since the property is great, looking good, great condition,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem of renting it out.
Right.
Rent it out for this amount of money. This is my mortgage. I'm having cash flow, which
Mhm.
is very important. If you're planning to repeat this process, you have to have cash flow.
Mhm.
So mortgage is here, the rent is here, so I have this cash flow, right? Now, once it's rented out, I go back to the bank and
Mhm.
say, "Hey, I got this property, has this good cash flow,
Mhm.
right? I want to refinance and
Okay.
take back the money." Now, let's say I refinance
Mhm.
and get back my $100,000.
Right. So, question for you: like before you do that, how long you'll have to have the property?
3, 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So I get back my $100,000. I
Mhm.
have $100,000 in equity there. So not all banks would let you take all your equity out.
Yeah.
You have to have some
Some
of the
left.
principal in.
Yeah.
So let's say I take out my $100,000. I have
Mhm.
my $100,000 back in the bank after I refinance it. Right?
Right.
Find another deal. I do the same thing
Okay.
again. I do the same thing.
So you basically use that equity that you took out
Mm-hmm. So
to
I had that $100,000 back in my
right.
bank.
Right.
I did that to do this deal over here. Now this is cash flowing. I refinance, take back the 100,000. Now it's back in my bank. I'm gonna find another deal. I do the same thing. Do the same thing on another one. Do the same
So in each house,
on each house. Yes.
okay.
So some people would do those types of do those types of things.
Right.
Commercial land, commercial
Yeah.
properties,
Yeah.
things like that, and that's where the big bucks are. But that's essentially how you do it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
not all deals are going to be as profitable as the first example
Yeah.
I did. On the first example that I provided you. By the way, that's the first example I provided you. I did that.
Oh wow.
I did
Okay.
that, and not everyone has a risk tolerance.
Yeah.
That one, some people would do it at a slower pace. So so it depends, but that's one of the secrets of investors and how they're able to acquire
Well.
so much. Now, the thing with rental properties too is that there's a lot of tax deductions that you can take from there. That's
Okay.
why they're saying it's a tax shelter, because your taxes, your insurance, your repairs, your management fees, the depreciation,
Yeah.
these
You'd
are
be
all
able
tax
to.
deductible
Yeah.
on a rental property.
Yeah.
So it kind of lessens the tax burden on that cash flow,
Right.
and then I didn't even mention the appreciation on the
Oh
property.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that $300,000 that you bought, which is now worth 500,000, keep that for 5 years. How much is gonna be after
Yeah.
5 years when
Right.
real estate in the long term appreciates in
Yeah.
price, right?
So if you
And
own
if you
like 10
had
of
like,
them,
yeah, 10 of them, then
yeah.
you're free to retire. Just
Yeah. Uh,
sell one property at
so
a
what
year.
what what do you think is the average amount that investors put on like when they do the renovations? Like
It
what's the average
depends,
amount?
which is why it's so important to do your inspection on the property
Gotcha.
to make sure you're not looking at heavy repair costs.
Yeah.
You know, during that due diligence period, you could back out of the deal if it's
Yeah.
just so much problems on this property. So let's say if I've seen investors who would only put in like $10,000 just cosmetic,
Right. Right.
and do have the same results.
Right.
So that's if you're good at finding those deals, then you'd you'd be more a lot more advantaged than
Yeah.
most
Right.
investors are. So yeah, let's say if just cosmetic, let's say a 3,000 square foot house,
Mm-hmm.
just gonna repaint the property, everything inside and out. It might just take me 7,000, 8,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah, that's like without flooring though, right?
yeah, without the flooring. So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those too. I've seen a lot of homes that were like flips, and they usually have like the same flooring, the
Right,
same
right.
the same upgrades.
And
Yeah, multiple
what's
houses.
the most important thing that you have to have is your risk tolerance, your
Hmm.
numbers. Is this the right computation for you? Is this the
Yeah,
property that will give you that cash flow that you need? Because
yeah,
if you just keep buying properties that's not giving you that much cash flow,
right.
you're gonna be bankrupt. Look at
Yeah,
Zillow offers.
right.
You know, they kept
Yeah,
on offering properties and they never really make money after selling them.
yeah,
They close down that business. Same thing
yeah,
with Redfin offers. They close down that business.
yeah,
Open Door
yeah.
has
They're losing a
reported
lot of money, right?
negatives. Yeah, they're losing a lot of money because they don't have the properties they're buying it at this price. Sometimes they're selling at even lower price. So
Right.
that's a lot of negatives on that.
Yeah,
Buying at this price, even if they sell it at the same price, you're still negative on that
yeah,
one, and that happens a lot. And that's what happens if you're getting to be a big investor. There
yeah.
are more losses to be.
So, so I have a lot of like questions from clients that wants to like invest, right? Like this their first time they own their primary home right now, and they want to be able to invest on something else and
Mhm.
kind of maybe rent out the old house that they
Mhm.
have, or rent out the one that they're buying, right?
Mhm.
But the main question is how much down do they need for these kind of stuff? Like how do they?
How much down payment?
Yeah.
Um, Typically, for a rental property,
Mhm.
most lenders, you could go 25% down on a 15-year.
Oh, wow.
That way you get a lot lower, rates
Mhm.
for it. So yeah, most investors that I know would go for 25 for a traditional
Yeah.
investment, conventional loan, 25% down on a 15-year term.
Okay.
That's what most
Yeah.
people would do. It also depends on what kind of investment property you're looking at. Let's say you want to do short-term rental on it.
Yeah.
Like buy a property, you want to do short-term rental, assuming you get licensed for it. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it's not just let's say you buy the property, you have to like update it in a
Yeah.
way
Mm-hmm.
that is, very aesthetically pleasing. You
Mm-hmm.
have to put furniture on it, and a lot of people they like the top end furniture.
Yeah.
you know that way you could charge more on the rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only that, there has to be something in that house that most people wouldn't see in their homes.
Right. Right.
You put an arcade in there, you put a
Mm.
pool table
Cool.
on it, because if it would remind them of, if that's the house that they're renting,
Yeah.
and if it reminds them of their
Their own
house
house.
at home, they're not
Like,
going to rent from me,
yeah.
right? They have to find something interesting
Yeah, because
on
they
their
don't feel
house.
like they're on vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so pool
Cool.
works.
Yeah.
So, and that can be taken into consideration with the cost
Yeah.
of what's your, how much do you really want to spend
Right.
on this property, and how
Right.
much do you want to rent it out,
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make your numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys want to learn more, we're here to help you out. We're here to assist you. We have lenders. We have partnered with a lot of lenders that could help you
And
start with your
contractors.
investment.
Yeah,
And
we have
contractors.
partnered
Yeah.
with contractors doing full renovations. We have a painter, we have electricians,
Right.
we have roofing contractors that we worked with for a lot of, or several years now.
Yeah.
So yes, I would love to help you out in whatever your real estate journey would be, and I hope you become a real estate investor. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Till next time. See you later.